What is up, guys? Before I start this video, I just want to remind you guys that you could become a member of the McDoubles channel, which helps me pump out more and more content for you guys so that I can keep this stuff going daily, all the time. But either way, thank you so much for watching the video. Let's jump right in. What is up, guys? McDoubles back again with a brand new episode, and today we're going to be playing Happiness, the Demon Hybrid. I'm super psyched for this video. As you can see from the background, I think we found a build that is definitely worth playing, finally on the main, and doing some high-level PvP with some proper gear, assuming we don't die on the first fight. So, hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's jump right in. Okay, I've been doing a lot more PvP on my Demon Hybrid character on Happiness. Try not to just start from 20 for no reason. So, yeah, we just got a kill that went pretty well. And now I'm going to go ahead and put some of this really good stuff on me and really twink myself out. Maybe surprise some of the people down there at the Zoram Strand. So, we'll see if we can just do exactly that. You know, some would say it's unfair. I say, yeah, it's totally not. I freaking earned this gear, right? From playing this character so many times, and it's finally going to pay off, and we're gonna really do incredibly well, I think, with all of this gear. Clearly, with the 25 gold you see on that bottom right there, I'm gonna go ahead and buy myself a pacifier if I don't already have one in my bank, and it's looking like I don't. Interestingly enough, I guess I must have lost it. Oh no, I didn't. It's right here, the pacifier. Very nice. Yeah, that's incredibly integral. Now, the one way that I've decided I'm going to try my spec with this playthrough is, I did hear one of you guys say in a previous video in the comment section, you said Ruin isn't worth it because they don't think that my imp is critting enough. So what if we built around my imp critting more? Yeah, so, you know, what if we built around the concept of grabbing, for example, improved demonic tactics, and we did try to go hard on our imp getting these big firebolt crits and just dominating our opponents with that. You know, maybe this would mean we don't have to go for certain abilities like demonic knowledge that are playing more into making us strong, and maybe we should play more into making just our demon strong. So demonic tactics, improved demonic tactics, master demonologist, that's the kind of stuff that I'm looking at right now personally, and less so, again, fell vitality and, yeah, demonic knowledge. We'll see. We'll definitely see. Now, I did actually pick up Hemorrhage. Hemorrhage, I was using it in my last fight. Really good ability that I should be using over Sinister Strike anyway, but of course I can't get it at level 20. Very happy, though, just to have picked it up so I don't have to go for it at 60. So yeah, this should be pretty good for me. Character's doing pretty well on this playthrough. So I think between these three, we'll definitely go with the Exorcism. That seems quite good. Oh my goodness, definitely going to go with the Hamstring there. I desperately coveted some way to slow my opponents down. Hamstring is good enough. It's a decent one to have for that very purpose, so that's quite nice. And like I said, we have the Exorcism now. Put that on T. Now, I'm not really using that many warrior abilities that would benefit from sweeping strikes. We're going to go with the healing stream totem because at least it is some residual healing. It's not amazing for us right now, but yeah, it's definitely better than our other choices. So I'm going to head right back on to the Zoram Strand, and we'll see how it performs. We'll see how we perform. I'm not really too sure, but I think with these item upgrades and with this build, which so far so good, you know, it's one of the better ones we've gotten from these playthroughs, I think we'll have a decent chance against our opponents. I'm pretty confident there is a guy in their mid-30s at Zoram Strand right now, so we're going to go for that person, but they're heavily geared, and I'm pretty confident that they're confident in their build, right? So we'll have to see. Could be a series, could be an episode ender, maybe not. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about the Hemorrhage, not having to worry about getting any talents at all to buff my main spammable like I do when I grab SS. I mean, you always see me go into the combat rogue tree and grab 2 points in improved SS. It's just required if you're going to use it at all. I really do believe that. So the Hemorrhage is very integral to probably making this build a lot better than it could be. Okay, so had a lot of fun at the Zormstrand. Lots of PvP there right now, especially with all the influx of players coming into Fell Touch mode. I think what I'm going to have to do now is we need to do some questing, okay? We haven't really built up our honor on this particular character in a while. I'm thinking maybe 2 more, 3 more quests during this particular run, just to get it up so we can afford the PvP weapon that we've just basically been putting off. We're so close to it already. So I'm going to go ahead and get some questing done. So right now I'm working on 2 quests. One of them is to kill the wandering forest walkers that you see in the background, and the other one is the quest to kill the wolves and the bears of Feralos. Now, this one is one that I even didn't recommend doing on my guide. However, we were already almost halfway there, and it was easy to do while I was doing some of these other quests. I was also trying to break up the monotony and do some different things, different quests in general, especially ones where I knew people wouldn't be, because I was kind of tuckered out from the PvP after being at the Zormstrand for so long. One thing I did end up doing is basically going into any talent I could find to make my hemorrhage stronger without spending a ridiculous amount of talent points on it. As you can see, we went ahead and we went with the Blood Spatter talent. This increases the damage of my hemorrhage by, I believe, 10%, which is pretty good. Now, another talent you would have seen in the previous clip that we did end up picking up was the Art of War talent. So you saw that I got the Exorcism ability, and this is a very, very strong ability. However, with the way that we planned to use this build, clearly we're going to go for Maelstrom procs with Fireball. But I was thinking that maybe Art of War could be actually the better way to go. Number 1, it does in fact have higher base damage. Number 2, it relieves us from some of the talent points that we were going into for our demon that honestly were only good for using Fireball, and overall we're just kind of making our build very, very clunky since we had to spend a whole 5 talent points for some of these things. I mean, I'm looking at, for example, if we go into the Demonology Warlock tree, we have the Talent Master Demonologist, and this is something that I often say is one of the better ones that you can possibly get. It increases your fire damage by 5% and your critical effect chance of my fire spells by 5%. But we're a hybrid, right? We use a lot of melee attacks, and that's not being increased at all. We're only really getting a bonus for our fireball spell since we don't have Fire Blast. So I think getting rid of those 5 talent points and instead getting 2 in Art of War is probably going to be the best way to go. You can also see we have abilities like Holy Nova in the background, so, you know, maybe there's something there as well. Maybe it's going to end up being some kind of holy-based demon build, which just sounds weird, but honestly could be a very cool concept. Maybe the demon acts as more of a buffer on this particular run, using him for example, Blood Pact, and for just his overall, you know, continuous damage in the background, residual damage in the background, and maybe we just go more with like an Art of War hybrid build with Exorcism. Hopefully we pick up something like Hammer of Wrath. We have the Hemo, maybe go Divine Storm at 60. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards right now. Okay, as you can see, we are absolutely nowhere close to being done, but I'm going to make sure I complete these 2 quests before we end up going back, even if everything is gray and not giving me any XP. 3 out of 15 Wandering Forest Walkers and 8 out of 20 Iron Fur Bears, as well as 11 out of 20 Long Tooth Runners. So we have a little bit of a ways to go, but if I'm honest, in Eastern Feralos here, it's pretty easy to find everything I need to find, and there's no competition right now, as I do everything very, very early or very, very, very late at night. So it shouldn't be too long before we complete these 2 quests, and that should give us another 8,000 honor, which should be more than enough for our weapon. So I'm not going to lie, I was thinking about getting the Sinister Calling talent. My only issue is, yes, it is increasing my agility, but I'm basically a strength-based build, strength converting that into spell power, of course, converting my attack power into spell power. Agility is not really doing that for me unless I'm going with more of a Hunter-Ranger build or even a Melee Hunter build, so maybe it's not the way to go. It is increasing my hemorrhage damage, which I definitely enjoy, because hemorrhage has really been a joy to play with. I also ended up getting the Vigor talent on this run as well, increasing my energy by 20. That makes spamming hemorrhage even better than it would have been otherwise. Still hunting for maybe a Hammer of Wrath spell. That would be very, very useful. Wind Fury, of course, would be very, very nice, but so far so good. I mean, as you can see, we have the Rejuvenation, we have the Lesser Healing Wave, and we can still get Maelstrom for that, even if we don't end up going with the Fireball, because, you know, it's still worth it getting off those instant heals. We have the Power Word Shield, the Desperate Prayer, Ice Block, which was a pretty weird pickup. I didn't really touch on Ice Block earlier, as I haven't really used it a single time yet for in any effective way, so there wasn't really much to talk about. But it's important to keep in mind that what Ice Block is going to allow me to do is clear myself of dots. I mean, yes, it will prevent me from dying as well, but really Divine Shield is better for that. What I want with Ice Block is to have a Rejuvenation up, and then I want to be dotted up like crazy, and then I want to remove all the dots. just like that. That might actually save me in the future. Dot builds are very, very underplayed, very, very underrated. Something I should truthfully make a video on because they're that good, and something that I think everybody needs to be worried about, right? So I think Ice Block is going to be good at the very minimum for the people who are very well aware of these sleeper type of builds that people don't talk about, at least for Fell Touch mode. And yeah, I want to make sure that I can be as good against as many types of builds as possible. So Sinister Calling, maybe a no-go, but definitely hope I get that Hammer of Wrath, because guys, instant Exorcism into instant Hammer of Wrath as a hybrid build, you can't really beat damage like that.
A few moments later.
Holy crap, boys, Hammer of Wrath. I didn't think it was actually going to happen, I'm not going to lie, but this is actually amazing. We're going to be able to go into the, I think it's like called Sanctity of Battle, some kind of talent. It only costs 2 points towards the end of the Retribution Paladin tree. This is going to allow us to get off instant cast Hammer of Wraths with 20% extra damage against players in particular. That is incredibly strong. So we're going to go for the instant Exorcism into the instant Hammer of Wrath. We should be able to get like 4,000 damage just like that in PvP. That's going to be a game changer, I think. Obviously, we are very, very proc based with a build like that. We don't have the Divine Storm yet, so we have to rely entirely on the auto attacks to get off those instant procs, because we don't even have Judgment despite having Seal of the Righteous. I mean, Holy Fire was an option back there. Obviously, that's not good enough. For a second, I did think it was Holy Shock, but I think getting the Hammer of Wrath is one of the best things I could have ever hoped for. Yes, I know, it does mean we're playing a Demon Holy build, but really, what could be cooler, right? What could be cooler than a Demon Holy build? I mean, not the Fire Hybrid version, that's for sure. The juxtaposition of the two different types of magic I think is a really cool concept, so we're definitely going to at least try it and see how it performs, and maybe try to last at level 60 about as long as we can with that particular build. Okay, quite a lot of questing there, and a lot of progress has been made. It is 6:30 in the morning right now, but we have 2 quests to turn in. So we have the Fuel for the Fire quest. That's going to put us at, we're currently at 30k honor, and now we're at 38,000 honor. And now we have one more. This is a pretty long one, actually, the one to kill the wolves and the bears in Faralos. So we can turn this in, and we're at 45,000 honor, guys. Boys, that is so good. Alright, I think I'm going to head to Winter Spring now. This build has taken an unexpected turn. I've decided to try something different due to the fact that I got Exorcism on this run and Hammer of Wrath, as you guys saw. So we're going to go with a more holy Art of War type of build. I have things again like Vengeance, Sanctity of Battle, which allows my Exorcism procs to make my next Hammer of Wrath be capable of being used regardless of the target's health and deal more damage. I took a bunch of crit talents like Conviction, and I'm still utilizing my Demon with talents like Demonic Tactics, as well as just getting improved Imp for the increased health from Blood Pact. Overall, I think the build actually does have potential. We have a whole lot of defensives with this build. We have the Ice Block, the Power Word Shield, the Desperate Prayer, we have Rejuvenation for some continuous healing, and then we have the Lesser Healing Wave. Now, we don't actually have the Maelstrom currently, but we could still get it. However, I'm looking at maybe even trying to just go for Divine Storm at level 60, but again, I'm not really entirely sure. This was kind of just randomly put together because I realized that these spells were very, very strong together. Just to make sure I mention it, we also went ahead and we got the standard hybrid stuff as well. So we have a decent amount of spell power and AP. But okay, let's go to Winter Spring. I want to see if I can find anybody. Yeah, I'm actually thinking of picking up the Shamanistic Rage talent. Not only is it a decent little defensive cooldown, but it gives me a lot of my mana back as well when I auto attack. The only real issue I have with this build right now is mana, so maybe Shamanistic Rage might actually work alongside something simple like Divine Storm. And simply Divine Storm is better because it's giving us more Exorcism procs and therefore more Hammer of Wrath procs. That's at least the thought. I mean, I know Crusader Strike is an option, but I think with Hemorrhage, we're good when it comes to stuff like a spammable of some kind. I think Hemorrhage is just going to be better for me. But yeah, I think Shamanistic Rage could be a pretty solid addition to the build, and I think it might actually just be like the linchpin, the thing that makes the build good. That is just so fun, guys. Like, just throwing Thor's hammer across, smacking the Ragged Owl Beast for a 2.3k crit like it's nothing. Yeah, I could get used to this build. I never really get to play these types of builds, even though Art of War is one of my favorite concepts to play. One thing that is something I overlook a lot of the times, that I do actually have Seal of Righteousness, which is also very, very good with this type of build. Look at that, 25k crit like it's nothing. So my idea is that I'm actually going to go 2 out of 3 in Maelstrom Weapon. By doing that, I still can get my instant cast, or at least incredibly fast cast, Lesser Healing Waves off. And I think that about wraps me up. That with the Divine Storm and Shamanistic Rage, and I think we've done it. I'm actually going to try with that build. I think it's actually good enough. It's interesting that we ended up not going super hard with the Demon in the build that I actually think is worth playing. I couldn't have thought that I was going to get a bunch of holy spells to use, but I mean, if it works, it works. If the shoe fits, right? And we're getting done some of our quests at the same time, at least making progress, which is always good. Okay, level 60. Oh, shit. Literally just Holy Nova for no reason. Yeah, the mana issues. I'm not getting any procs. I just need a proc. Give me a proc. Okay, proc. And dead. Yes, boys! Yes, boys! All I needed was a proc. Get out of here. I didn't even have any good stuff. I had no good stuff. We got so many good items from that PK. Holy crap. GG, dude. Good try. Getting me right as I hit 60. Literally scoping me out. And just... Alright. Nice.
Enemy spotted.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? This is a joke. Let me go back. Wow, this is gonna make me super unhappy if I die. I think we can actually just charge to that bear and be fine. One can only hope. I have a potion coming up. I have Desperate Prayer off cooldown. Placing the totem was a bad idea. It reset everything. We can mount. Oh my god, what a joke. The only thing is we're on our mount now, so I'm pretty sure we're just gonna live. It's no problem. He can't really do anything. He doesn't have 100% speed, I'm pretty confident. That would be crazy if he did. This one was a huge joke, though. We just got out of a fight, and we couldn't even Hearthstone away. But okay, we survived, so who cares, okay? Let's just go ahead and put on some new gear and stuff, and we're gonna be perfectly fine. So I actually just got the Crusader enchant that was epic. I PK'd the epic enchant off of somebody, and I had it in my bank, and I didn't even realize it. So I'm going ahead and enchanting all of my stuff with some of the best REs I can get my hands on. I currently got a holy damage melee auto attack enchant, so that should be better than the fire one for my current build since we use talents like Crusade. So right now I'm just fishing for a mystic extract, and for some reason it's taking forever. I'm just hoping the altar doesn't go away. Okay, there we go. So I'll extract that. Very perfect. Light forged weapon. I'm going to keep reforging randomly, seeing if I get anything just before the altar runs out. I'm not really sure what to fish for right now, if I'm honest with you. Alright, so I went ahead and I bought 100 mystic runes for only 100 souls. Literally the best thing to use souls on, now that I think about it. Really, the runes would have been one of the hardest things to possibly get on a Feltouch character if it was not for this way of attaining them. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is keep reforging now that I have all those runes, and I'm really looking for just, I don't know, maybe something to increase the damage of Exorcism and Divine Storm, or Hammer of Wrath even. I'm just going to keep exploring it and we'll see what happens. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, it was pretty nerve-wracking, at least for me, but if you did, make sure to give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And make sure, if you have not seen my Feltouch guide, to go check that out so you can play Feltouch mode and have as much fun as I do on it. But I'll see you guys in the next video. McDoubles out.